were tired of him, especially the video of the dollar that was put into him, broadcasted by a journalist in the Premium Times. The video was overboard. It was not denied. So the people of Kano were so enraged about him, and they always go to, during the elections, they always go to the Emma Palace, which he will not drive them away, using water to wash the road. That they don't want the governor Ganduje to continue with this kind of scandal. That was the issue. Now, Ganduje felt the Emir of Kano was supporting the PDP governorship candidate. So when he scared through the elections and then the tribunal and up to the Supreme Court confirming his elections, in desperation, he even went to Enugu State to see Father Mbaga, earnestly, but yet he's a Muslim, because he wanted to stay on the seat. Maybe he knew how the election was conducted, but he was, by the grace of God, given the seat. So he came back. The first thing he did was to depose the Emir, banish him. He was sent to Nasarawa State. That was what happened to Emir Sanusi. So people of Kano too felt so bad about the law he was using, being vindictive, and they declared war of vendetta. That was why they now said, why do you remove him and disgrace him this way? It was the court that ordered that a federal court in Kano, ordered that Ganduje should not recognize another Emir, that this Emir should be returned. He ignored the court order. Good people, I'm not saying that it is good to ignore court order, but what is good for the goose is also good for the gander. Simplicity. Maybe because Ganduje then was in the APC. So, all sins were forgiven. He ignored the court order. I'm saying he ignored the court order. Yes, of course. He banished the Emir. But it's only the Emir that went to court and said he has the freedom to stay anywhere he wants to stay, which the court granted. That is how the Emir was now able to move to Kaduna. From Kaduna, now he moved to stay in Kano, where he was staying up to death. So another governor, Yusuf, came in on board, not in the PDP, as a matter of fact, but in NNPP. So it is discovered that there was an injustice done, that the respect given, even in Akwa Ibom, we have the same scenario. The issue of the Okuibomi. That is the supreme ruler of the whole states, and it is done in many of the states. The Oba of Lagos is the same position. Oba of Benin is the same position. He sees power more than every other Obas in the state. So why do you balkanize the Emirates, belittling the standard and the status of the first-class chief as Emir of Kano? Yes. So the House of Assembly, who has the power, you cannot say it's just safety, because it takes the House of Assembly to know the necessity of passing a certain law, which is guaranteed by law of this constitution of this country. So they passed the law now, removing that so-called this embarment of the Emirates from that 5 back to 1, and they told them to hand over the properties of the state back to the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. And now the Emir was also recognized by law. On passing this bill, the new amended Act 2024, then that's Kano Emirates Amendment Act 2024. That is what gives the power of the governor to now reinstate the Emir that was in the stool without problems being removed by law. And it is by law that he was reinstated. So what this Habololo is going on, I don't understand what it means. But what surprises me is that the AG, the National Security Advisor, now feels that at this time around, the police have to enforce the court order. Why did the police of Nigeria not enforce the court order in the time of Ganduje? Maybe because he was in the APC, the ruling party. I mean, come on. Well, how can a country be run as a cabal?
The NSC has debunked the involvement of security officials from him.
No. He must. What would you say if you were in that office? But in practice, the military have been drafted there, who told us we are not going there to enforce court order. But the Inspector General of Police, I would like to quote him, as saying that he is going to enforce its court order because it is APC people that are being involved. It is wrong. It is unacceptable in a country like this. If we must be one, we must be seen to be one. Of course, I'm not a politician. So if I am in Nigeria, I have no right to survive because I don't belong to a political party. Talk more of a ruling party. So this is wrong. What is the duty of the military? I will put to them, all of them involved, including the National Security Advisor. Because that's one of the mistakes of making a policeman to be there. That's the military work. This is the first time we experiment a politician. So Newsroom should also understand its limitations. Because police is not among the service chiefs. That's the truth about it. The service chiefs belong to the Air Force, the Navy, and the Army. That's the truth. That's when we talk about Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces. That is the Armed Forces, not the police. Police is the parliament, and police is really a civil rule. That's why when we call it a police force in Nigeria, every way is a service. It's not a force. That's the truth about it. No. So if a police is a force, then civil defense should also be a force. The immigration should be a force. The customs should be a force. You see, in Nigeria, we go to look at things that are not important and leave the fundamental issue. I think the federal government should understand what is the role of the military. The military is not balkanizing the streets of Zamfara. Oh yeah, with this kind of killings. The military is not also disturbing the streets of Katsina with the kind of kidnap of women. Of course, they are not in the streets of Katsina. Even the military is not fully in the streets of the so-called Borno state. So to say. So why are the military in Kano? They say we want to go and check. The rule of the military is to protect the territorial integrity of a country. Simplicity. So if even in elections in Nigeria we use the military to intimidate people. It has been happening in Rivers State. It happens in Akwa Ibom, not Western in 2019 elections.
Former community as well.
Of course, you go there to interfere on matters. They say they want to go make peace. When has the rule of the military be that of peacemaking between communities?
All right, thank you.
So what is the rule of the police?
Yeah, they have different rules, as a matter of fact. Apostle, there are two sides to this story. Some say the order was issued before the law in the state was amended. And if that's the case, it should be respected. But most importantly, I think politicians and leaders should be very wary, of what's happening.
That's what they are thinking. I am reporting. I'm not just thinking. That's wishful thinking. Let me tell you, where was the judge when he gave the order? He was in America. On virtual level, you are giving an order. Why was the urgency that you were not in the country to give the order? Yes, when you talk about obeying the court order of the court, does the federal government of Nigeria, not only this government, do they obey the court order? I mean, come on.
Okay.
Who obeys the court order in Nigeria? Because it's only a poor man like me. Who obeys? That's the truth about it.
Apostle, the people are saying that the new governor now, Abba Yusuf, is only following his predecessor because Ganduje, as he said, did not follow court order. And now people are protesting on the streets that why won't the new governor follow court order? But where were they when Ganduje was also doing the same thing? And also with the military too. That people are also asking, where was the military when Sanusi was being deposed? So what can you make out of this imbalance?
The imbalance is because of what the government in center should be a little bit proactive, not reactive. They should be proactive and then they should show balance. Show balance in everything you do. I am a little bit ashamed that I come from the south where the president comes from. Buhari, even in the appointments, was always looking at the north. In favor of the north, but not the northwest where he comes from. Not the Fulani where he comes from. But in Nigeria today, the government, federal government, not tend to. the federal government is looking at the appointments of the top people from the Comptroller General of Customs, Immigrations, Federal Inland Revenue Service, Police, Army, Central Bank, Minister of Finance. All these things culminate to one zone, which is your time. So when we talk about these things, we have to see a president who is balanced. A president who is for all Nigerians. Not a president who is lighting openly to the gallery of nepotism. It is wrong. So when you see that some people feel that their party is supreme because they are in the center, but tomorrow the table can turn. PDP was there for 16 years and they were making a lot of noise and insults on the party that run Nigeria well. But here we are back to the APC. So when we can see, like this government now, this is 1 year of misgovernance. This is 1 year of showing people how not to govern a country. This 1 year of poverty, 1 year of hardship and hunger, introduced and brought in by a government from the 29th of May 2023. So that is the important thing that we have to look at, is that why all these issues in Kano? Because another party has taken over Kano. Kano is also a vote party, a vote basket of Nigeria by population. You know, understand that. Followed by Lagos. So that is where they also, because one thing about governance and politicians in Nigeria is that they are thinking about next election. As we are sitting down now, APC is thinking about 2027 election to win again in the center. But they are not thinking about what will you do for the people to vote for you. No, they are not thinking about that. They are thinking about how to win and how to galvanize the votes, because to the governors.
You speak of this like you're in the APC camp and you know what exactly they're strategizing.
Yes, that is my job. It's student of history. You're not a historian. That's my job. Right. It's my job to know what is happening. You see, we set agenda for them and they sometimes fall into it. Like now, look at the release of the National Defense Headquarters. The release is just porous. It's laughable. It means they don't really know the rule of their engagement. So if all battles and problems, okay, like now in Rivers State, because whoever Wike is, whichever party he belongs to, we know where the body language is. But yet, the military has not gone to Rivers State. Why?
Okay.
That's the truth about it. Because they know very well that no matter what the governor is struggling, the sitting governor is struggling, another hand in the center is dictating what is happening in the states and the pace of who people should obey. You know, in Nigeria, successive governors always feel that they are still in government.
Yeah, Apostle, don't you think that there's a difference between the issue in Rivers State and that of Kano? Yeah, this is political, purely political. The
and this is
traditional.
Thank you very much. Even when it is political and traditional, but it just, we are talking about the peace level. That's why the military is being drafted. They say we want to guarantee the peace on order, but they are not disturbing those who are supporting the former Ima of Sebi. They are not disturbing those ones.
Yeah, no.
But then the majority, that's why the Emir of Sanusi wanted to show if it's accepted by Kano people. That's why, you know what it means to mount a horse is not a bulletproof car. Simplicity, which Sanusi has many. A horse is an open place that let us see if the people of Kano State love me and the Kano State people love it. Be that as it may, let me tell you, that court order will not stop what the governor wants to do, because the law is made by the House of Assembly. It's not made by the court. The court order will never be forever. Some court orders vacate itself under 7 days. Okay. Some subsist until the trial of the court. But let me tell you, a superior court, I am sure we have Attorney General in the Kano State, and they will approach the higher court. They will approach the higher court. And the higher court will vacate that injunction, and the man will still be in office. Simplicity. So if you feel that it's not in office today, when the court order is vacated, he will also be reinstated again and again and again. So the battle is not a win-win situation. The battle is that the federal government and the APC are going to lose this battle big time. Of course, real time, because the law is made by the law makers who are also supporting the state and their government, and they are there to feel the pounds of deposing this Emma. How will you feel that Akwa Ibom State is doing what Kano State have done many years ago, to have a supreme leader, traditional leader? That's what we are doing today. That's why we have the Newsroom of people. You know,
Prior, I don't want to come to Akwa Ibom otherwise. Prior to the Oku Ibom review, who was the who occupied that office?
no, the Supreme Leader was not there.
Okay.
He was not there.
Yeah.
All paramount rulers have equal status.
Okay.
But this one is that he is higher than others.
All right.
And that's what we are copying from Kano.
No,
that's what we are copying from Lagos.
Yeah,
that's what
I'm
we're coming from Benin. And even worry.
Recent development.
That's even worry.
Apostle Joshua.
Okay.
Now, do you think that Ganduje being the chairman of the APC has any influence on this?
It's a direct influence. And the APC too is a direct problem in that situation. Because they are not doing it right. Take the military back to the out of the barracks, send them to the borders. Send them to Sambisa forest, let them release so many people who are there up till today. They are not releasing them. So what are we doing in the township? They want where comfort is. They want AC rooms, hotels to sleep, military.
You say the military has been politicized?
Not even being politicized. It is. That's the truth about it. In the checkpoints, I used to sell cars. You move the vehicle from Lagos, how many checkpoints you see with the military? They never collected bribes before, but they are collecting now. I say now. I repeat now. Is it not politicizing the military? And then again, the issue is that I will not blame the military so much if they go to collect the bribes. Do you know why? Why is that? Because when the economy is strangulating, as what we are seeing now, all Nigerians are being affected, even foreigners who are living in Nigeria, because of the bad government policy that brings about untold hardship. Let me tell you, Al Jazeera last week, when in response to Nigerian students who are where Nigerian students who are in Britain, they told them to go. In response of that, Al Jazeera describes Nigeria economy now as the worst economy in the generation. I mean generation. Worst economy in the generation does not in any way mean that you are talking about a century or a decade. I mean generation.
The whole generation.
I'm telling you the truth. That's a foreign media. Assessment of a foreign media. So what about most of us here? So when things are so high, you see people seem to have a rise in crime wave. Am I supporting the collection of bribe? No, I'm not supporting that. I don't do that too. But then the issue is that when you allow poverty index to grow so high, and standard of living is so low, and the cost of living is so high, and the hyperinflation as we are having now, which is not even galloping inflation, you discover that there's something wrong. So you must check. If Nigeria wants the crime rate to come low, they must make sure that food are easily put on people's table.
All right, dear friend, if you're just joining us, this is Melting Point on Memories 96.5 FM, and we're taking a look at the Emirate situation in Kano as it concerns the people and the government this way, the people the other way, and the law on the other side. So it's kind of tripartite arrangement. Now let me come to Apostle Samuel Joshua in the house. Apostle, talk to us. Is it
that the federal government should take it easy on this matter. They did not be seen as being partisan on the issue.
Okay.
There should be a president is supposed to be a father by rights to all the family or tribe or whatever or party. No, your loyalty is not to the political party. Your loyalty is to the state, which is Nigerian state. That is my only issue there to the government. But again, is that I want to correct our impression. When you say Kano State is politically volatile state, no one has monopoly of violence. Akwa Ibom is also political volatile. It depends on the fact that we also always have a blessed governor to take care of situations. Otherwise, if you open it up, you see what happened in the NSAS. You saw what NSAS, the Inferno, consumed in Akwa Ibom State. So it was just like that. So no one should be seen as an area where it is so volatile. No, all of us have that same adrenaline that if not controlled, we can also explode. So Kano is not more volatile than Akwa Ibom. Everyone has that thing. But it's only that ability to control the adrenaline when it goes so high. That is what we call maturity. So Akwa Ibom people are so mature when it comes to approach to hot situations like this. But then I have told you and I've said again and again, it's going to be a win-lose situation in favor of Abba Yusuf and the NNPP and the House of Assembly, Kano State House of Assembly. That's going to be the truth. Because any moment now, the court order will be vacated. Even if the judge stays, of course, that's it. That's what. See, I have studied before I get out of it because I cannot continue to pay the school fees. I didn't have money. So I've studied media law and ethics, and I've studied in management because I studied management before journalism. In management, there is what we call commercial law. Yes. So there are things I know to help myself. I'm not a lawyer, but as a learned man, I'm not a lawyer. There are things I know about the law. When the Attorney General, what's the job of the Attorney General? Not that the one that we had in Rivers State of recent. Those ones were sitting down, please don't go to court, because they were loyal to some other person until the government realized it. Right. That's the truth. So now the one is that in Kano, I'm sure, is standing by their governor. So they will vacate the court order, and when they vacate the court order, that same day, if you want it, that same day, they will also do what? It's where in the Emir that they are seeing there. So for the Emir of Sanusi to move in the street of Kano,
shows acceptance.
No, but it tells the people, and the people all came out.
All right.
They said this is the Emir that we have. We don't have another one. So what about the placards people? Who bought the placards? Who wrote the inscriptions? Because majority of the people in certain areas and some states have about 45% illiteracy, if not 55.
But if you check the placards, they were written in Hausa, not in English.
No, that's not the issue. In Hausa, it is a lot of people in Hausa can speak Hausa, but not all of them can write it. The simplicity.
So you think
if you are able to write and read any language, you are not illiterate in that language. So that's what I'm saying. The placards are carefully written and beautifully displayed, and it must have been bought by one person. That's a suspicion.
So you think that this is just mere politics? This is more than traditional?
Of course, because why do they let everybody who claims to be Emma be moving in the streets using a horse? Let them move in the streets of Kano. I know what is Kano. As you are talking about now, I know what that means. But Emma and Sanusi have gone up. And what did the people shout? That you are the only man we know. That is just the truth. So when the people, acceptance of the people is being guaranteed, and now there's peace and order in the states. So what do you do? When they did it before in APC, what did the APC do? Did they do anything? They were supporting it. In this one, you know, Yusuf seems to be a very educated and sound person. He did not banish the Emma. Observe the difference, which was just vindictive and punitive on the case of Sanusi, a revered economist, a former central bank governor, a man who gave 500 million from the central bank as if he was a governor to his state when they had flood problem. 500 million. That's to his state. So what a man who have done so much to their state, so why should you banish him? And reducing his standard to a mere mediocrity. That is it. So maybe people have seen injustice and said, let us correct this one. Emma Sanusi is not a politician. He does not belong to any political party. So that is the truth. So there is genuineness for what I've seen in the part of Emma of the current governor, it seems to be so clear in conscience. He never banished somebody, as some other person banished him, and they carry him like a small boy into Nasarawa State in the bush. So this is a difference. Have you seen the difference now? In Apush, I know that everybody, that's why they call them executive governor, because you have the right and style of your governance, of course. So but let us be seen to be doing justice.
Apostle Samuel is our guest on Melting Point today, and we're looking at Kano Emirate. Well, for you listener, you can be updated. Let me update you. Kano Emirate is a traditional government structure in Nigeria's Kano state. It is located in the city of Kano and is ruled by the Emir of Kano, a traditional ruler who is chosen by the people of the state. The Kano Emirate has been in existence for centuries and plays an important role in the cultural and religious life of the people of Kano. Today, the Kano Emirate is being faced by some challenges, such as issues relating to land ownership and traditional governance practices. These challenges are currently being reported in the news, and it's what we're looking at today, highlighting the ongoing debate around the role of traditional institutions in modern society. Apostle, that takes me to your question. Samuel,
Yeah.
what is the role of traditional rulers in modern society?
And yes, though I will not say the question and answer it, in modern democracy, they have important roles. They are custodians of peace in any society. They also advise the government on issues that pertain to tradition of the people. They also advise government on what are the needs of the people in the establishment, in the society. What are the needs of the people? What are the immediate needs? Do we need borehole? Because in Nigeria we celebrate borehole in the 21st century. The government gave you a borehole, you know, instead of a pipe-borne water, which is a failure. As a matter of fact, we are supposed to be celebrating pipe-borne water. My sister came from Germany, and then we were surprised that most of the bottled water she drank in Uyu gave her stomach problem. Until very few that were good. Now, but the surprising thing is that in Germany, if you go there, people drink water from the tap. I mean, that's pipe-borne water from the tap. You don't need to get anything to do with the water. The water is clean. It's good for human. And some of this water are being reverted, and from some other waters, waste waters, and they make it to become pure. So that's what I'm trying to say, that a paramount ruler now will tell you, Your Excellency, in this local government, this is what we want. This is what we want more than this other one. And that helps to shape the agenda of any government on their priority given to a certain locality. Be it a village, be it a local government, and be it the one that we have now in Akwa Ibom State. So they have a very, very important role to play. And they go into the justice system. Judicial system of Nigeria recognize the traditional courts in Nigeria. We have traditional courts.
Then is it right for the government to appoint the head of a traditional institution when there are others who will meet on their own and elect one of them to lead?
Now, the issue is based on the law of the land. It's based on the law of the land.
It's okay. All right. Thank you, listener. You can be part of this discussion as a son of the land and a daughter of the land by calling or dialing 0803 085 7755 or 0809 066 6909. For your information, we're also streaming live. You can see Apostle himself is here guarded in something like a navy blue. And you'd see my lady, my sweet, my daughter, my sister.
Sweet?
Yeah, sweet sister. Colleague on the microphone. She's straight on the microphone. Is she not? Yeah, sure, she is. And so you can see all of us, we are streaming live at the moment. So
the handle,
maybe I'm journalist.
okay.
the handle
Give
for
them
the
the
Facebook
give them the
account is
handle.
Memories 965 FM. That's MEMORIES 965 FM. You can also send a message to our WhatsApp platform on the number 0809 066 6909. All right, Apostle, while we await the calls, how does this back and forth, this tug of war, for a lack of a better word, affect the future of the Emirate system in Nigeria moving forward?
It is, for me, I'm seeing it as unnecessary interference with the a federating unit is autonomous. A state is a federating unit. So Kano State is not an exception. So I feel that the federal, whatever some people describe as the federal might, is a show of shame. That's the truth about it. So they should allow the federating unit to make a law and then enforce the law that they have made. So there should be no interference. The military should, as a matter of urgency, be told to go back to the barracks and go back to the volatile area in the front, like Nasarawa State, Zamfara State, now Katsina, where the former president comes from, volatile enough because of the proximity to Niger Republic. And now you can see that the Niger Republic itself has excised themselves from ECOWAS, with Mali and Burkina Faso. So those people have excised themselves from what? The ECOWAS. And now they are not cooperating in military again. So the issue of taking the terrorists in the cross-border, they will not be doing it again. Maybe because of the kind of, what do you call it, response to what Nigeria-led ECOWAS, as in, did to them after they have the coup. Because the Nigerians were also talking. They said, come, Nigeria has the highest number of coups in West Africa. So why are they not banished? And that's the truth, sir. Highest number of coups in this country is the West African region. So be that as it may, let the military go back to the barracks if they have nothing doing. Sure.
All right. The Commissioner of Police in Kano has vowed to enforce the Emirate Council Repeal Law 2024 amid rising tensions and protest. Where do you place the people?
The Commissioner of Police, does he probate and reprobate? Is it accepted that you probate and reprobate? The same person, Commissioner of Police in Kano, is saying that he is going to enforce the court order. The court order now is that status quo ante must be maintained. What was it? Status quo ante was that the Emma Adeobayero should be in seats pending a determination of the case. So I'm surprised that one is saying that he's going to enforce the law 2024, which is the current law. Yeah. So how do we probate and reprobate? That one is left for them, because I'm not in the police force. I'm not also in charge of the governments and the armed forces. So let the Mr. President intervene and allow the states to make their law and do whatever they want to do. Because if vacating a court order is a matter of 24 hours.
All right, and some say that this is in preparation for 2027. And I'll come to you. Is it right for the government or politicians or some people to plan ahead of the elections when they are not done with the first time?
Well,
is it not too hasty?
Well, I could say that not only hasty. I think I see it as desperation. Every climbs, they want to vote for you based on your antecedents. You see what's happening now in the Labour and the Conservative in Britain. Because if some of them are saying we will not go again for the parliament because they see their chances is very low, slim compared to that of the Labour. But that's what I expect in Nigeria, but it's not here. It's not here. No one looks at the scorecard, but what it wants is new election. Next election should come tomorrow so that we win. By any means, by any level that we win. That's so sad about our democracy. You see, we call it Nigerian democracy mature for some years now, but I still see it as nascent. Nascent is the sense that we are still experimenting what is supposed to be called the democracy. And that's not fair for our people. Are we really practicing democracy in Nigeria?
Okay, that is...
where the rule of law is not being obeyed. Are we practicing democracy?
Okay, he says not. That's a rhetorical question. He says it's not really favorable to Nigerians, and which means you are not in support of the presidential system of government.
Definitely, I cannot be, especially in Nigeria, I could not be supported because Nigeria copied presidential system of government from America. But why can't they also copy the rule of the game of politics in America, where a former president is being now tried on criminal issues? So many, trial on criminal issues, including hush money, which they bribe, falsification of documents of the company.
Okay, you got a call here. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. We lost that. You can try again. The network may not be favorable. Okay, I'll come back to you on the system.
Some of them don't remember the numbers.
0803 0857755, or you can call the other one 0809 066 6909. These numbers will grant you permission to join us in this conversation. And so you're welcome. All right.
Yeah.
We'll continue our process.
So what I'm looking at is that
It's expensive to maintain in Nigeria.
of course, because in the Nigerian system, the last person I knew that went to Senate in Nigeria and refused to collect salary was Aton Zeribe. And he was not living in the quarters, he was living in the hotel, paid by him. To show us that he did not go there for any of your money. I'm going there to save my people. Who else? Can you quote one person?
Can't remember.
No matter how rich they are, even when they are former governors, when they go there, they still collect the money. So you see what I'm trying to say.
Pensions from the states.
So the cost of running presidential system in Nigeria in a strangulated economy like now is so expensive, and it's what we cannot really afford. So what should we do? We go back to the parliamentary system. You see, Britain for some past years suffered the turnover of prime ministers. It did not affect the government. It did not affect the economy. If you do what is wrong, look at the Cameron. You drank tea, you need a COVID, but you made the law for the people. So why do you do a party that is more than 10 people are down the street during the COVID? You break the law that you made. So you have to go, and you might have to resign. So in Nigeria, you will not resign. It's not possible that they will resign. They will tell you that, in fact, the governor or the president has all rights to do whatever he did.
But a minister
They
did
will just
resign. Minister of Finance
did resign.
Yeah, sure.
And you call that resignation. I'm surprised you call that resignation.
Oh, we do.
He did not
She did not
resign anything. Buhari gave him a free landing to get out of the court, and he was not prosecuted for breach of the law. He forged NYC exemption certificate.
Somebody's there. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Andy.
Yes, you're welcome to Melting Point.
Your guest. I am so that the Daniel coming from what happened in the state.
It's up. All right. You're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah. I want to refer to what is happening in Nigeria today. Nigeria is not supposed to practice a presidential system of government. What they are practicing right now is the unitary system of government called federal, what they call it, presidential system. They are practicing unitary system of government. Of course, if you say they are practicing federal system, I mean, presidential, they would have had the patriotic unit should have had power to administer their resources and then send it to the central bank, might be something to the central government, and that will really help the government to be, standing on their own. I mean, the federal unit to be on their own. But when you come to Nigeria, Nigeria is not doing so. They say they are copying from the United States of America. Is that how those are practicing there? I think it's like the guest was saying. I think they should go to article of that government again. And they should go and practice
Parliamentary.
Parliamentary.
Parliamentary system of government. Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's what I really think to Nigeria. And because of the cost of running costs, because of governance is on the high side in Nigeria today, you have 360 out of reps members to pay their allowance, side and cars of us. So you calculate that on whose expenses this money from where do we make this money from the South, the Niger Delta people? I mean, I don't know why the Nigeria still live as a unit, as a component unit. I mean, South still live as a component unit, where they know that their soil, their land have been devastated, and that they have nothing to replenish their land. The oil is going out every day, thereby leaving nothing for the land, for the farmland, for them to farm, and that there's nothing commensurate paid to them to ameliorate the suffering of the South. I mean, this is very bad. And I believe, something say, there are no people who will not want me to say this, but let me try to say, I believe in what the general is did to Ghana, and that's why we have the Ghana must go.
Well, we cannot say that on radio.
Don't say that.
We
Don't
cannot
do
say
that. Don't
that.
say that. Hold it.
Future.
We know
Yes.
what you.
Yes.
We know what you mean.
I suggest that we should do what is called program. If you know what it means, please don't take this issue, but I'm saying the right thing. We should do programs with all these people that are trying to, sabotage our economy, make our economy not be functional, finish our mandate kind of governance.
Thank you.
Eating the money at the right. Anybody that goes in, it's just a cash cow. Anybody that goes in wants to take money back home.
Thank you. Thank you. You made your point. Thank you. Thank you.
Nothing to do with the economy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You made your point. Somebody's waiting.
Some other person is waiting. Caller.
Yes.
Caller.
Thank
Some
you.
other person is waiting. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Time is not on our side. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, the governor is doing wonderfully well. Thank you, sir. Thank you. God bless you from Rivers State. Yeah, sure. Hi. Okay, thank you very much. He called you from Rivers State. Thank you. I understand. We understand what you mean, and of course, like the guest in the studio said, he's thinking or advocating for another system of government besides the presidential system. Yes.
And I would like to also lend voice to what Samuel says. You see, the airwaves have rules. There's a code. NBC has a code for us in the airwaves.
Yeah.
So there are things that we don't even attempt to say
on there.
Yes, because
I think we should.
The rule of law must be followed.
Let's start this last call before. Sorry, please. Hello. Good morning. Yes. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes. In 1 minute, can you make your views heard?
Yeah, this is Wilson. I'm calling from Uyo.
Wilson from Uyo. You got 1 minute.
Yeah, I want us to understand that the problem of Nigeria is not even the system of government. It is because we have a lot of people that are not ready to get into the rule of law. We have a lot of corrupt people. Even my brother that is in that studio, with due respect to him, if he becomes the governor today, you see him as a very different person entirely. So the problem we have in this country is to try to see how we can punish people that steal our money, steal our common patrimony, steal most of our resources, and most of them they steal these things and run away. It wouldn't have been as bad as it is now. But when people steal the money, they decide to invest outside Nigeria. That is what is killing us.
Right.
Again, if there's anything we can do to establish capital punishment, just as it is done in China, at least to them as a deterrent.
Thank you.
So all those people that steal their resources and run away with them.
Thank you, Wilson.
Somebody will make away with them at $6 billion.
Thank you, Wilson. Thank you. Thank you, Wilson.
You can see what is happening.
Thanks, Wilson.
Go to China.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Your time is completely off.
Your country, the countries in the world.
Thank
yes,
you very
we
much.
know how it is.
Thank you. We're running out
Yes,
of time, so
so,
Apostle, you do that in 1 minute.
No, yes, I have to respond a little.
Yeah,
because I understand the rules of this game. You see, the airwaves, the last caller said his point. It's okay. But his point is better than the famous, the Rawlings advocate. Because he's talking about capital punishment. That means the law will be created.
Yeah.
If the law says so, it's okay.
Constitution review.
Of course, that is it. But now the issue is that when we say that if anybody goes to become in the government, he will continue with the same thing, then that means we are having no future about ourselves.
No, it's talking about leadership.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That one becomes a governor today will also do the wrong thing. That is not right for our society. If we must correct the issue, we will buck the status quo. It is my right to buck the status quo. That means what was done before that was not right. Our generation should not see that thing to be done.
Thank you, Apostle.
Okay,
we can see that
you.
Patrick Edeke is around the corner for the back pass. Thank you so much for your time here. I'll see you again next week. Thank you very much.
Pleasure is mine.
Alright, we've come to the end of the melting point on Memories 96.5 FM, and remember that all the views and concerns raised on this program were strictly on the perspectives of the guests in this, the analysts in the studio.
And not that of Memories.
Yes, thank you so much for
and also you also make your points.
Yeah.
Thank you very
So we
much.
raise the issues together. All right, thank you. Thank you, Apostle, for being here, and thank you, various esteemed callers that called in, and those that made efforts to call in. Thank you very much. You can try that again. Tomorrow we'll be back. You can call me ANIEFIOK. NKEREUWEM. Have a good day.
My name is Sharon Mandor. Thank you so much. See you again tomorrow.